Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Aging Experts. I'm Barbara Ellison, and I'm a transformational life trainer, and I am just so excited to be here. And if you can hear my dog, she's excited to be here too. Anyway, so we are going to be talking today about just making aging is not about just trying to be a 20-year-old. It's about being your best self ever. And so we are so excited today to have Melissa on and Mishelle. Okay, can't
I
one of
get
those.
called Melissa
Sorry,
all the time. My sister-in-law.
sorry, Mishelle. And to talk about some things that we can do to just promote and to just be our best selves. So we are so excited. So Carol, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It has been a wonderful day already. And I relish in today. It's really great. But one thing that, I have Life by Design. I always forget to say that I help people design their lives so that the second half is better than the first half. And that's what we do here at the Aging Experts. So many people back when I was a kid, women would get together for coffee in the mornings, they'd get together in the afternoons, when the kids were coming home from school, and they'd sit around and have a glass of tea. Hope you brought your tea or whatever that you have in your glass. And they would enjoy each other's company. They would help figure out each other's problems. They would say, give me wisdom for this. I mean, they might not use those words, but tell me about this. I'm having a problem here. And so that's what we miss in this era, especially post lockdown era, that belly to belly friend, confidant, working with each other to help problems. And so that's part of what our shows do, both the Thoughtful Thursdays and the Aging Experts. It is helping people to connect and to get ideas and to learn things. But for the second half of life, I want to say we took some time getting all this information in, going through the hard knocks, going through learning what works, what doesn't work, how to help people, how not to help people. Hopefully you're doing the good part. I always talk about spiraling up or spiraling down. You want to do the good. But I ran across this wonderful, wonderful woman at an event the other day, Mishelle. Her sister's Melissa, but Mishelle. And she works with Instagram. And I thought, what a wonderful way for people in the second half of their life to share their knowledge, their wisdom, to help other people. It is a new world, and we think of all those things as being for the young folks, but we're making a dent in those young folks' things. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of those things. We are making a dent. So, Mishelle, tell us a little bit about what you do, why you do it, sorry, and what is going on.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. My name is Mishelle, and I am called the Instagram coach for coaches. And I had my very first job when I was 16. And from 16 all the way until I was 38, I never felt like I belonged in any workplace with any employer. No matter what I was doing, I just didn't feel connected to the work that I was doing. I felt like something was off. And so I started a side hustle as a coach and just wanted to see where that would take me. I was working for one of the largest companies in the world and decided, I'm going to try my hand at this. But I knew that Instagram was the place to be. Instagram was where all of my potential clients were hanging out, but there was only one problem. I didn't have an Instagram account. I didn't know how to use it. I had an account for my bunny, but I posted cute pictures of him, and he had bunny followers from all over the world. And I just decided, how hard could this possibly be? I will change the name on his account to mine, and I will just show up and say, hey world, enough about pancakes. I'm a coach now. And I was just going to sit back and wait for the orders to come in. And it didn't happen. No orders came in, nobody cared. And so I was faced with this question of, do I just scrap this and go back to corporate, or do I really double down and figure out how to use Instagram to grow a business and to finally set out on my own? And I chose the second option. I invested thousands of dollars on trainers and courses and classes, a lot of which weren't all that helpful and didn't feel authentic to who I was and the brand that I was trying to start. So I started asking different questions. I started pulling together pieces that I liked, pieces that I knew worked and felt good to me, but I started making tweaks based on who I knew I was and who I knew my customer was. And I figured out a better solution, one that didn't involve me dancing on camera, didn't involve me spending my whole life on my phone just trying to hustle for more clients. And I found, not only after I grew that coaching business, I found a lot of other women were in the same boat as I was. We didn't resonate with the advice that was out there, and we knew that we had a higher purpose. We just didn't know how to execute it. So I started a second business, the one that I have now. And I have now helped hundreds of coaches get clients on Instagram authentically. No dancing, no daily posting, none of that. And I'm officially retired from corporate life as of September 2020.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. And you bring up such a great point of combining what Carol said and what you're saying. Here's me. I'm in my 70s. Well, 70s is the new 50. And they have said, the medical community has said that we're going to double the age expectancy in the next by 2035. There are a lot of women out there who want to have a career, but they don't want to go back to corporate.
Right.
Or they don't want to start in corporate, or they don't want to go back to retail.
They don't want to be someone else's employee. They
don't want to be somebody else's employee. So that's why.
And we're not the grandmother that we grew up with.
Exactly.
I mean, our grandmothers wore dresses, and they were dark.
Didn't have jobs.
Navy blue or black. Yeah, rarely had jobs. And they were rotund many times, and that just doesn't resonate with my generation and how we are facing grandparenthood. Duh. Anyway, so go ahead.
Right.
I'll get
exactly.
off my
So that's where you come in, Mishelle. We are so excited to just hear what you have to share with us and share with our audience, because there are more and more people out there like us who want to be active but to also have an income. I don't want to have to live on Social Security. That's not going to happen.
No.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, and people need a starting spot. My phone
That's what I was just going to ask.
These shows ever.
You're very popular today, Carol.
I guess.
Yeah. So I think that was going to be my first question. Okay, you had, because that's where I started with Instagram. I mean, I started out making little videos, but I didn't go anywhere with it. Yeah. So now that's what I'm interested to hear, where to go with it.
I created a signature process that I call the DAS method. And the first step is actually off of Instagram. You do that kind of behind the scenes, and it's to find who you are uniquely qualified to serve. And it goes deeper than, and I'm going to use weight loss coaching because that's where I got my start in online business. And it's an easy one for me to make an example of. So many coaches get tripped up by thinking that their client wants to lose weight. And so they go out there thinking, I am serving everyone who wants to lose weight. That's not going to get you anywhere. If you are speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. It's important that we close in on that group that we are uniquely qualified to help. And that is advice that you've probably heard, niche down. But what I teach my clients is you don't just niche down to what your ideal client is, what boxes they're going to check on a demographic form. It's not about whether she's a mom, whether she's in her 50s, 60s, or 70s. It's not whether she's retired or a widow or divorced. It's what she really wants that you can help her achieve. And once you figure that out, you do need to know who they are demographically, but you need to know what they want. And you need to know what that deep desire is. For weight loss coaches, it's not weight loss. If it was, they would be content to just stand there on the scale all day long and watch the number go down. But that's not why they want to lose weight. That is the first thing you have to do before you even start deciding what you're sharing on Instagram, decide what your profile picture is going to be, what your bio says, all of that is to define who you are uniquely qualified to serve. And then you use that throughout all of the rest of your profile. You write a bio that is specifically geared towards that person. Your bio is not about you. It's not about what you offer. It's not about the package that you sell. Your bio is 150 characters for you to capture the attention of a potential client who doesn't already know you. It has to be written in a very specific fashion, in a very specific way, so that when they find your profile, they know right away that you're not someone who's just documenting their own life. You're not a personal account. You're a business, and you are someone who is transforming lives, and specifically transforming their life in the exact way that they are looking for. That's the first step, is to define that person and exactly who they want, and then craft your Instagram profile around that person instead of yourself.
Right. That is so, yeah, and absolutely so true. And so right now, of course, I'm thinking of and okay, audience, are you out there thinking, gee, when was the last time I looked at my Instagram profile? That's what's crossing my mind. And to tell you the truth, I don't think it does that. So that point number one taken. Guess what? I'm going to change. I'm going to work with that.
And you probably
Check that box.
You probably have quite a few folks in your audience. I have people tell me all the time, I'm not on Instagram because I don't understand it. I don't understand how it works. I hear there's an algorithm. I see people dancing and I don't want to do that. And I want everyone who's listening to know it's actually quite simple. It's nothing to be afraid of. And you don't have to dance on camera. Ever. What's more important than dancing and following trends and all of that is what you share. What you share is a million trillion times more important than how you share it. If you're sharing crap content, whether it's a static image or whether it's a video or reel, which are what Instagram calls all of their videos, I think under an hour now. Don't remember the time frame. Whether you're sharing an image or whether you're sharing a video, if it's crap content, it's not going to do well. Right. What's most important is for you to go back to that first step, to know who it is you're serving and what they want, and then create content that changes their life for free before you even tell them about your paid offer.
Right.
Does that resonate with you at all, Barbara?
That totally. So all right. So now, do you have a course that teaches people how to do that, or?
Right now, my only open offer is a one-on-one training program, and I work specifically with women who are service providers, so coaches, healers, consultants, those kind of folks, as opposed to those that are selling products like candles or things like that. Selling a product without coaching is completely different than someone who's selling themselves as the service.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay, so how do you differentiate? I was on a group call the other day and somebody said, "Oh, I thought you were just a coach." And not that you didn't, because I coach and I have products. So how do you differentiate when you're putting out content so people know for sure exactly what you do? Because yes, I coach and yes, I have products.
If the two are unrelated or they're not deeply intertwined, if there are two separate lines of your business, you should have two separate accounts, one for each of them, so that there is no question and folks who are finding your account aren't dismissing you on the day that you post about your product, but really they were a perfect candidate for the service that you offer. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. And probably my question may not even be for this forum. It was actually on a quick connect, and just, how we give our little moment by moment. And I don't even remember if it's the one we met on, but they didn't realize when I talked that I do have products and stuff, because I am not the Tupperware lady. I tell people, if you brand yourself as the Tupperware lady at age 20, you'll be the Tupperware when you're 80. So don't brand yourself with a company unless it's your company. And that's how, and I have lots of different products for different needs. And that's why I have the Life by Design, is because everything comes under that umbrella.
Okay.
And it is all very intertwined. I would think, don't you think, Barbara?
Oh yeah, it's all into, because it's all in wellness, and it's about being well.
Yeah.
It's about being well.
Yeah, spirit, soul, and body, all those areas.
Right.
And
one of the things.
Oh, sorry, Barbara, go ahead.
I have a
No, you are Barbara. Look at your name tag. You are Barbara.
I am Barbara. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mishelle.
I do have 2 Instagram accounts, and right at this moment, I have them exactly the same. So I could make one into a more product scope, and another one into my more coaching part.
Absolutely, because the content that you're putting out for your service is going to be vastly different than the content that you produce for a product that doesn't need you to go along with it.
Right. Got it.
Okay. So
okay.
What were you going to say, Mishelle?
Oh, it sounds like you may be too granular in how you're sharing about what you do. If you have services and products that are tied together that all fall under the same umbrella, you may want to kind of take a step back. And when you're introducing yourself, and the same goes for your Instagram bio, is you may want to have a more generalized statement around what you do, who you serve, and how.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. This is good information.
Yeah. I think one of the things that we want in this show is causing people to think or reevaluate, or to see, that, to spark a little thing of creativity.
Well, and to know that they can do it. And if they don't know how to do something, there's people that can help them, that can encourage them, that can work with them. But jump in, do like Barbara did. Just do little snippets, little snippets of things.
Yeah. Absolutely. There are folks out there that can help you with anything in any stage of life. I specifically train only on Instagram. I don't coach folks on how to use TikTok. I don't coach folks on how to use Facebook, but there are other individuals out there who do that.
Right.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
So let's go back. So you would say just get an account.
Before you even get an account, decide how you're going to show up on Instagram by defining who it is that you're going to serve, how and what specific results those people are looking for, so that as soon as you jump in, you know exactly why you're there. And you can start everything with that frame of mind and be laser focused.
Okay, so now how does that relate to choosing your name? Is that part of that?
It is. Either so there's 2 names on Instagram. One is we'll call it your username. So it's mine is @Mishelle.Thorpe. But there's also the name on your profile, and that's the bolded under your profile picture, which can be anything you want it to be, quite honestly. But you only get 2 chances in 14 days to decide what it's going to be. So make it good. Try it out, make sure it fits in the 30 characters before you hit save. Otherwise, you may end up with something wonky for 2 whole weeks. But back to your question, either your username or your profile name must contain what you want people to call you. That may sound so elementary, so basic, but it's something I see people doing wrong every single day. If people don't know what to call you, they're not going to message you because they're like, hey, friend. Hey,
Mm,
girl, that's not right. Hey, woman. I mean, if they don't know what to call you, they're not even going to try.
Well, and I
So
want
make
I
sure.
want to say something on that. When I still had my modeling agency, I used to help new agencies get set up, and I would kind of mentor them and work with them and help them get ready to take uh, kids to conventions and stuff like that. That was one of the things I did along with my agency. But I had one of my models that wanted to do that, and so I went in to where she lived, and we, scouted and did that. And so she was doing her, I think it was her Facebook or something. This was years ago. I don't even know if TikTok and Instagram were around. But anyway, so for her email address, she had, I think, sexy hot chick at whatever. And so that's what she put for her. I said, "Oh, no, 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 no,
Oh,
honey.
no, no, no.
You you
Save that for your
cannot have
friend.
that on your email. You can't have it for your Facebook." And yeah, I'm just like, no, we've got to totally revamp this. So and so that was what she,
mhm.
I mean, that was basically what people would have called her agency had she gone forward in it. And I'm like, no, no, you're not a porn site.
Right? No, that's such a great example. Such a great example.
Right. Okay. So now, right at this moment, looking at my two profiles, can you, what is the time frame of changing your name? Can you?
You could do it now. I'm not sure I understand your question.
Okay, well, because it's been years since I've had them. I've never changed them. I had the two. Now, what is there advantages of changing? Like, 'cause I've had those accounts probably, 4 or 5 years, I would think. Would there be an advantage of changing the name too? Because like one of them is just living rich today.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Is
What's
that
the other?
is that on brand for you?
it's one of my things of just having, living a rich life. Riches is about more than just, it's not just money. It's your mindset and your relationships and um
Now, if you were one of my clients, I would know a whole lot more about you and your business and who you serve and all of
okay.
that. But without knowing that information, the question that I would ask you is, if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, if they wanted to pull up your profile, recommend you, or see what you were doing, would they think, and I've already forgotten it, would they
Living
think
rich today, right?
to type that in? Or would they try typing in Barbara and they're like, oh, well, it may, if Barbara is your name,
Right.
then it may pull up for them in the search. If Instagram search is working well, it may still pull up your name if they type in Barbara. But for you to have a profile name or a username that doesn't match your first name, the challenge is making sure that people can connect you back to your account and you don't get lost.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll have to talk. Mm.
Yeah, we have lots of stuff to to go look at. So, okay.
All right.
One of
So,
Sounds
the other places that people think they're winning is when they change their account name. So the one that's bolded, mine says the Instagram coach for coaches, but my username is at Mishelle.Thorpe. So they know what my real name is. They know I'm not fake. A lot of people will choose to use their business name or some kind of descriptor as their name on their profile. The benefit is that that's a searchable field on Instagram. But the drawback is that what we do, what fits in those 30 characters, because we're going to have to pare it down, a lot of other people do. So the chances of you being found because someone searched for that term is pretty small. If it's easier for you to use your real name, go ahead and do it. If you can't find a very succinct 30 character way to describe what you do, just use your name. It's really not, It's not something to stress about or to stop you from moving forward. Done is better than perfect. As long as
Right.
they know what your name is, as long as they know what you do, go forth and sprinkle the world with your goodness and everything that you do.
I like
Cool.
it. Sprinkle the world with your goodness.
Sprinkle your world. Yes. Exactly. I might have to just, yeah, Michelle, thank you. You've really just given me a just to go, because I really enjoyed doing Instagram, and then just kind of got away from it of doing doing the videos and things. So okay, so but now you said that you don't have to post every day.
Correct.
What kinds of things do you do? Is there like a schedule or best practices that you can share with us?
Every account is different. Every audience is different. Every creator is different. My general rule of thumb is to have a content creation schedule that you can maintain, because a lot of people are solopreneurs. Most people don't have someone writing their content. So what can you manageably do within the course of a week? Or if you batch your content ahead of time, how many posts can you write in a day for the rest of the month? If that makes sense. What
Okay,
can
right.
you, how much content can you produce without that being the only thing you do to grow your business? And then the second piece to determine that is how many posts can you write for the week that are quality, that serve your audience, that change their life, that add value for free. And if your answer right now is one is better than nothing, right?
Mhm.
But if you're thinking, well, I have to show up on Instagram 3 times this week, I don't know what I'm going to say, so I'm going to post this video of my dog.
Oh, right.
How does that video of your dog serve your audience? And the response I always get is, well, it's entertaining and it helps them get to know me better. Until you've built up their know, like, and trust of you, that content they just don't care about. Put all that stuff in your stories. All your personal stuff that's not fit for your profile, that can go in your Instagram stories. Now, your Instagram
Oh, okay.
stories are where people who already follow you go to get to know you better. So you've got everything that's on your feed, which you should treat like mini billboards for your business. Whether you post once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Personally, I go with 3 times a week.
Oh, okay.
That's what works for me. But some people have a lot of good content that they can put out, and they can do it quick, and they can do 5, or maybe they can do 7, whatever works for you that doesn't burn you out and serves your audience every single time. Put that in your feed. And then your Instagram stories that's where you can go and be you. That's where I posted today that I'm wearing a shirt you can't see because the skylight has this horrible lighting that has little pumpkin spice lattes on it.
Oh, how cute.
Because today is the day that the pumpkin spice latte released, and that is my favorite thing in the world. I would never put that on my feed because that doesn't serve my audience. It serves me. It's about me. But that can go on my Instagram stories.
Oh, right.
Okay. So are your Instagram stories kind of like your Facebook stories where they're here today and gone tomorrow?
Stories between Facebook and Instagram started on Instagram. So Facebook stole it from Instagram. They're the same company. So it's
The same
Right.
company.
Yeah.
and Instagram stole it from Snapchat. So history you didn't think you wanted to know. But yes, it is 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, but you know what? That's fun. That's good to know, because
Yeah.
until I can't even remember who told me that. I was because I was doing things on the stories, and they said, "Well, Barb, it's going to be gone tomorrow," and I went, "It is." It's like, because I was thinking feed.
Yeah.
That the feed stays there until
It
you
stays
take
there
it down
until
or
you
whatever,
archive it or delete it.
until you archive or delete it.
Mhm.
So, hey, thanks. Because because until not that long ago, I did not understand stories at all. And one day a friend of mine said, "Well, Barb, take what you've put in your content, if it's something that's relevant to you. Put something in your comment, and then make a little short thing in story and say, hey, for the full, go to the feed." And I went, "Well, why would you do that?" She said, "Well, that's what you said to me." She said, "Well, Barb, the story is gone in a day." And I went, "Oh."
And
Yeah,
isn't
I have a
well,
friend that I love watching her content, but she does everything on stories. Yeah.
And then you go back and you can't find it.
Yeah.
And stories,
it's gone.
again, stories is where people who already follow you go to find more about you. Stories is not where you get more clients. Stories is where you develop followers into clients, but it's not where people are going to find you. So it's really, you don't want to be putting all of your content in stories, because then you're not reaching a wider audience. That's what your feed is for. So you want to have a nice balance of both. And people always ask me if there's a hard and fast rule, how many stories should I post? Again, I don't believe in a formula. I don't believe in a hard and fast rule. There are days where maybe I post once and I'm like, whoops, I forgot to put anything else on stories. No big deal. No big deal. Whatever feels authentic for you and you can keep up with. It's going to vary.
Right. And I think the biggest thing is, and I'll tell on myself, I am not good at, I'm not necessarily the most consistent person in the world. And yet I am finding that I am getting much more consistent as I've done my podcasts. I'll have to have you. Oh, I'm going to have you on my other podcasts. But just because those are in my brain, but they're there. And so I think once I get, oh, Barbara, okay, yeah, go do this. And just to be consistent. That people do, so that you do show up, and it's like sending a message out once every 3 months. Well, they're not going to remember who you are.
Right. And for folks who are just getting started, it may feel really overwhelming to think, oh, I have to post in my feed and I have to post on stories. This is already too much for me. But start slow. I know successful businesses who never post on stories. Some experts say that's a big no-no. Well, it's a big no-no if you quit on your business before you even give it a chance.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
And the thing is, I think what works for you. Being your, I loved what you said, is be your authentic self.
Yes.
Of course, if for you, your authentic self is showing up once a month on Instagram, you have to understand that you're not going to see results from that. So maybe Instagram is not the platform for you.
No. Right. Yeah. See, like, I love doing these. I love doing interviews, and I love going on other people's podcasts. And that's where I get my people from. Usually it's going on other people's podcasts.
Yeah.
Because we talk about what we do, and we talk about, mental fitness, and we talk about wellness, and then it's like, oh, gee, Barb, how do I find out about this? I talk about autophagy. Most people have never heard of it. And it's like, oh, okay. And I'm a personality science trainer. So, let's talk about how personality impacts your family and your relationships. And it's like, oh, okay, let's talk about that, and how it can. I've been on several business podcasts of that. And it's just so fun to see what people are interested in, because we're all in this together. We are all, and I truly believe that the Dalai Lama has said that this is the year of this is the decade of the woman.
I love that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when because I read it, and it was from somebody else, but I read it and I went, oh, wow. Worldwide, more and more women are coming into their own. And they're realizing that the more they collaborate, the more they help each other, the more they get in touch with each other. Hey, I'll do this for you. You do this for me. Let's collaborate. Let's do joint ventures. Everybody wins. And we are all raising each other up so much more.
The thing I think is that, we think back to school or even business, even as adults, of people, it's like, oh, they're, don't get with her. She'll try to steal your customers, or she'll try to take over, or I don't know if it's the lockdown. I really don't know what did it, but people are coming in and collaborating instead of competing. And that's so refreshing. That is so refreshing that is where we are coming to. And
and that's what I help my clients understand, is even if all of my clients are weight loss coaches, none of them serve exactly the same audience in the same way. So none of us are truly competing for the same customers. The person who will be most drawn to me and who I will be able to serve the best isn't going to be the same client who wants to work with Sarah Beth or who wants to work with Amy, right? There's enough success for all of us. There are enough people out there who need to be coached and not enough coaches doing the work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's one of my favorite sayings is that, there's 7 billion people on the planet. You cannot possibly service all of them.
Exactly. And if that thought is overwhelming to anyone in your audience, a piece of advice means I don't have a job, but I'm going to give it anyway because I'm just here to help, is there are people out there called social media managers. I am not one of them. They are the folks that manage your Instagram account. They can write your copy. They can create the splashy posts that you see. They can respond to your comments. They can engage with your audience. They can follow new people. They can manage everything for you after they get to know you, so they're doing it in your voice.
Right.
I don't provide that service because that is not enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
I would rather teach.
Exactly.
But
find the thing
go
that
get
you
a
like.
social media manager. If this is overwhelming and you don't want to learn how to do it for yourself, someone else will do it for you.
And
I would like to have someone to just do the post, not to respond. I wouldn't want that, but like to me give them, I need you to go check all of this and send this out to these people that fall in this category. But I've never, and I know it's out there. I just can't turn loose of that.
And I don't either. Obviously, I mean, I teach Instagram, so I don't have a problem managing my own content. But for those who that is a barrier, the graphic design piece is a barrier. I do offer the graphic design piece to my one-on-one clients. But if you have a business idea and that Instagram is a place that you want to be, but it's just too much right now, then that's what a social media manager is all about. You don't have to know everything about business. And that goes for everything in business, not just Instagram, not just social media. That goes for the finances, all the stuff. You don't have to know it. You just have to know people who do, or you have to know how to find them.
Right. Yes.
And you
listen.
So
I am so excited that you came on today, and you have given us a wealth of knowledge. And
I'm so glad.
So guys, if you have any questions for Mishelle, click the link below. She will have a link in there in the comments and all the stuff below about a free offer. Is that the way to put that?
Yep. It'll be 5 things for you to do consistently, 5 things for you never to do, and 10 content ideas to help you get noticed on Instagram for free, even if you don't have a huge following.
Great. Thank you. That is a huge gift. That is a huge gift.
Yeah.
And we just want to thank you. I know we've both gleaned from today. I hope all of our people have. And we will see you soon.
See you on Instagram.
Have a good one. Have a great
Bye, everybody. Bye.